Episode 3. It's the third day that I'm vlogging. Really have no idea what I'm going to talk about this time. Um, but I guess I'll just start off with where I am. This is Pope John Paul Park in Boston. There's actually a train going across the Neponset Bridge right there. I've just been doing some yoga, meditating a little bit, and doing some reading. I'm reading this book, Looking for Osman by Eric Lawler. It's about a guy who travels through Turkey and Istanbul specifically, and he just kind of describes his journey. And he actually mentions that Ataturk, the guy who modernized Turkey in the 1920s, talks about how a country cannot progress without his women. And I mean, that's a great point, and it's impressive that he was talking about women being equals in the 1920s, because a lot of countries weren't, and a lot still haven't. It's never made any sense to me why women have been seen as lower than men or unequal. I guess it could be because men have always been more assertive or physically just bigger, so we kind of felt like we were the ones in power, or that we should be in power, but it just doesn't make any sense. Women make up at least half, if not more, of the population, and they're also just vital to humanity. It's actually interesting because Hillary is becoming probably going to be the Democratic nominee. I hope Bernie Sanders is, but it's looking like Hillary's going to be the nominee, and Donald Trump is undoubtedly the Republican nominee, which is just absurd. But yeah, so yeah, it's hard to believe that Trump is going to be the Republican nominee. I mean, that's scary, and it's really looking like it's going to happen. And I wouldn't be surprised if he becomes president, because I don't really know that many people that support Hillary. Most of the people I know support Bernie, and it's looking like he's not going to be the nominee. And Trump he's gaining popularity with every day. I think a lot of people are just curious to see what would happen if he became president. The presidency kind of feels like a game almost. It's just, at this point, it's just it's like entertainment or something. I feel like people aren't really taking it seriously, and I mean, that's a problem. I think that's a problem. I think the presidency is a really serious position. It shouldn't be taken for granted. I've been watching some videos that say, he's an outsider, he's not politically correct, and I guess after the economy's downfall in the past decade, I guess people just want to see, something different, something exotic. And I was actually talking with my stepfather, and or soon-to-be stepfather. My mother's getting married soon. And he was talking about how Germany, after World War I, was bankrupt, and Germans were just fed up, so they elected Hitler as their leader, as their as their leader. And I was trying to think of the name. I think it begins with an F. Führer or something for leader in Germany. Whatever, I forget. But yeah, so I guess after, economic downfalls in countries, they want to elect somebody who, is very nationalistic and is going to make radical changes. Um, Bernie is also, he's exotic and he's different, and he wants to make radical changes, but they're different than Donald Trump's changes. And he's not as entertaining, he's not as attention grabbing as Donald Trump. Um, he's almost as controversial, but the thing with Donald Trump is he's a billionaire, famous reality TV star, and Bernie is just an old dude from the Northeast who no one really has known about until now, at least not in the mainstream public. So yeah, I'm gonna keep reading this book, and hopefully Bernie gets elected as president, even though it's unlikely. And there's a plane going above me, and one more view of just this nice park. I'm hoping that these vlogs will get better as I do them, practice. I feel like they're kind of lame right now. Even I don't like watching them. But hopefully I'll figure it out. So see you tomorrow.